Well, last year I had plastic surgery and I have been very public about it. I had bags removed from under my eyes and, some wattles taken out from under my chin. And I'll tell you why I did it. I feel so good.
You admit you've had work done, which I think is to your credit, but you look amazing.
Why did you say, I read that you said you're not proud to admit that you've had work done. Why not?
We really want to talk about that now?
I think that it's important for somebody like me who's an activist to show that I can also look good and that I'm still hireable.
Back then, if a woman went to a health club, there'd be a gym for men and nothing for women. We were not supposed to be strong and fit, and there were no gyms.
It's true. It's amazing.
Jane Fonda was the peak of American fitness and healthy aging, but apparently the healthy lifestyle she sold us was a lie. Women had a problem in the 1980s. Gyms back then were way different from what we have now, and many women felt that they were built for men. They were filled with boxers, bodybuilders, and athletes, which made a lot of women feel out of place.
Back then, if a woman went to a health club, there'd be a gym for men and nothing for women. We were not supposed to be strong and fit, and there were no gyms.
It's true. It's amazing.
So Jane Fonda had this brilliant idea. What if she brought exercise into people's living rooms through videos? And if you're gonna look at that today, that's like normal or not mind-blowing at all. But keep in mind that there was no internet back in the 1980s, and the only videos they had were on VHS tapes. So at that time, it was a revolutionary idea.
Right, two, and back, two, left, stretch it out.
And the biggest reason why this idea really worked in the first place is because Jane herself was a big part of the appeal. She was already a major Hollywood celebrity, admired by millions of women all over the country. And she was not only in the movies, she was everywhere. Seeing her all over the place made many women not only want the exercise program, they wanted to look like gorgeous Jane Fonda. I mean, who wouldn't? Look at her, she's gorgeous.
This morning I was brushing my teeth and I saw a muscle in my arm for the first time. And when I went to work that day, I stood up to my boss.
So women bought the tapes in huge numbers, and I don't know, maybe some of our grandpas even bought a few of them just to see her on screen. But Jane's workouts quickly became a part of everyday life for many people. Before long, she had become one of the most influential figures in the fitness industry. Jane later said stories like that showed her the workouts were doing way more than just fixing their fitness. She noticed it was giving women a whole new level of confidence. To prove her point, Jane often shares a story about a woman who reached out to her saying,
Being part of this movement for movement makes a lot of sense for me, because it's important that no matter who you are or where you are, how old or young you are, that you move.
To be honest, I have no idea how that lady managed to pull that off with her boss. But if I do that, I'm for sure getting my ass fired. And whatever that lady did, the point is, Jane's fitness programs connected with so many people, and even she was surprised by how far it all went. Looking back, she admitted, I had no idea my videos were going to become such a phenomenon. Even at 87, Jane Fonda still exercises regularly and continues to promote fitness as part of a healthy lifestyle. And not gonna lie, at 80, she looks fine. In a recent interview, she summed up her approach in a really simple way. I essentially do everything I used to do, just slower. She has adjusted her routine with age, but her message has remained largely the same. Keep moving.
Well, last year I had plastic surgery and I have been very public about it. I had bags removed from under my eyes and, some wattles taken out from under my chin. And I'll tell you why I did it. I feel so good.
If an 87-year-old that looks 50 is telling me to move, I'd even start twerking just to look young like that. And her timeless appeal basically shows that whatever she's doing is working. Grandma found the hack to stay young. But the thing is, years later, Jane Fonda admitted that her looks weren't just from working out. So, Jane openly shared that she had undergone a facelift and spoke about how she felt about that decision.
You admit you've had work done, which I think is to your credit, but you look amazing.
Why did you say, I read that you said you felt you're not proud to admit that you've had work done? Why not?
We really want to talk about that?
But according to her, she was too afraid to continue with the surgery. I had a facelift and I stopped because I don't want to look distorted. She also admitted that she wasn't sure she would make the same choice again if given the opportunity. Jane went even further by warning people about how difficult it can be to stop chasing a younger appearance once cosmetic procedures become part of the process. Reflecting on her own experience, she said, "You can get addicted. Don't keep doing it." Well, at least she's honest about it, and even tried to warn others about the risks of getting hooked on procedures. However, not all people saw her the same way. In 2018, Jane appeared on Megyn Kelly's show and was asked why she seemed reluctant to discuss plastic surgery while promoting a book about aging. The exchange quickly became uncomfortable. Instead of answering directly, Jane pushed back and questioned why Kelly wanted to talk about her appearance in the first place.
It was so inappropriate. You know, it showed that she's not that good an interviewer.
And to be fair, asking that completely out of nowhere is pretty rude. Like, if I were in her shoes, I would feel super uncomfortable too, especially on live TV. So Jane later addressed the moment and made it clear she wasn't happy with how the conversation had been handled.
I didn't want to look kind of tired and jolly anymore. I feel so great and so rested, and I look so different. And I just decided, and I'm not proud of it, I decided I wanted to look more like how I feel.
But not everyone saw the exchange the same way. Wendy Williams was one of several television personalities who weighed in on the exchange.
And very much objectified by my parents. And so I had body dysmorphia most of my life and suffered from eating disorders. So it's been a battle for me.
Which, for me, is pretty messed up. Because of those who don't know, Stevie Wonder is a legendary American musician who has been blind since he was a baby. So the joke was basically saying Jane Fonda's plastic surgery was so obvious that even Stevie Wonder would notice it. I get that it was meant as a joke, but it still feels a little out of line to drag a blind person into it just to make fun of someone's appearance. But Jane later admitted why she did it in the first place.
I think that it's important for somebody like me who's an activist to show that I can also look good and that I'm still hireable.
Jane has spoken openly about struggling with her appearance for most of her life. In a recent conversation about aging, she reflected on how deeply those insecurities affected her.
No, but you know something? One of the reasons that I look good for my age, I mean, there's a lot of reasons, good genes and a lot of money.
I'm gonna be completely honest here. It's crazy to think that even someone as famously beautiful as Jane Fonda was fighting those exact problems. It just goes to show that body image issues do not care how rich, successful, or famous you are. In the end, we're all just human. She even admitted that part of the reason she still cared about her appearance was practical.
What's the ultimate wisdom about growing old?
Stay active. Stay curious.
And you can't really blame her for feeling that pressure either. Hollywood is, notorious for being incredibly harsh on women as they age. So wanting to look good just to keep your job makes total sense. Jane has also pointed out that looking healthy and actually being healthy are not always the same thing. In interviews about aging, she pointed out that looking young usually costs a lot of money that most regular people just don't have.
My name is Jane Fonda, and I'm going to bring back the Jane Fonda workout during this home sequestration. So come on and do it with me, and lift up and down, and up and down. Again, that's up and down.
Which is true. Appearance is influenced by many factors, some of which have very little to do with fitness. But that doesn't take away from the benefits of staying active. Regular exercise is still one of the best ways to maintain strength, mobility, balance, and overall health as you get older. That has always been her main point.
Jane does look great. She's 80 years old. Stevie Wonder could see that's not a natural 80.
So where is Jane now? Well, even after all the criticism, the surgeries, the beauty pressure, and the uncomfortable questions about what she was selling, Jane never really backed down from the platform she built. Back in 2020, during the COVID pandemic, she joined TikTok and brought back the Jane Fonda workout for people stuck at home.
My name is Jane Fonda, and I'm going to bring back the Jane Fonda workout.
At first, it looked like a nostalgic fitness moment. Jane was back on a mat, doing leg lifts, reminding everyone of the workout videos that made her famous. Was she trying to sell us another fantasy? Is this another trick to sell a new exercise regimen that promises eternal youth? Turns out it was something else. Jane was using her new platform on TikTok to push people into her climate activism.
There are too many workouts happening right now on television and on computers. What I really would like you to do is to work out with me for the planet.
Classic 80s work.
For her, movement is never just about abs, youth, or looking good in front of a camera. At least, not anymore. It became tied to staying involved, staying active, and refusing to disappear just because she got older. And in 2026, she kept doing exactly that, with Rise Up, Sing Out, a concert for the First Amendment.
Now is the time for us to not just sit and complain things are really bad. We have to speak up.
The event is built around free speech, protest, and civic action, with Jane appearing alongside other artists and public figures.
Yeah, well, music has always been married to resistance. All the movements throughout history have had songs. They inspire us. They kind of leap over our self-censorship and stir us. And this is what we want to do. With the words and the songs, we want to move people from concern into action.
So in a strange way, Jane's later life makes the story a bit more complicated. Yes, she sold people an image of aging that was not fully honest. Yes, money, surgery, fame, and genetics were part of that image too. But she also kept proving one part of her message over and over again. Aging does not have to mean shrinking yourself. Maybe Jane Fonda was not lying as much as she was trapped inside the same beauty standard she helped sell. And she may not be perfect proof that pure discipline can beat aging, but she is proof that a woman can get older, stay visible, keep moving, and still refuse to be pushed quietly into the background. But let me know what you think about Jane Fonda and her philosophy, and don't forget to subscribe.